Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I wanted to talk about some behaviors that you might be doing that makes an avoidant think to themselves that they actually don't want you for the long run. This is going to be a triggering video, and a lot of you guys know that I am a therapist and I see a lot of patients, and sadly, there are folks that feel this way, that they actually feel like, okay, this person is not for me, maybe for now, because I'm, I want some company, I want some companionship, and this is the person I've been with for a while, but I really don't see them as a person I want for the future. I don't feel confident about that. They say that, but usually it happens after some of these behaviors, which is good because that means it's not you, it's something you've done, which also means you can undo it because I've seen it become undone. And so that's why we're sharing this today, okay? The first one is when I'm trying to say this in like the best way possible. When they don't, it's like you do something in place of, when they don't do what you want, but it's not really what you want. I'll give an example. You do it for them. And so this one sounds weird, but the example will help, I hope. You say you want them to schedule a date, and maybe they're taking their time on that. So what you do is you go ahead and schedule it for them. Does that make more sense? So you kind of took their opportunity to prove to you that they like you, and you just kind of took it away. I know it's probably because they were dragging their feet on it. And then what ends up happening is they feel like you don't trust them and that you make them feel like a failure, and then they associate that feeling with you, even though you didn't even mean it like that. But you probably did that because you feel anxious and you feel hurt. What you could have done instead is you could have said that you've been waiting for them to schedule this date and you feel frustrated. Is there anything that you can do to help them to navigate this? You can say that you want a certain type of date, you want a certain type of restaurant, whatever you want to do. You can say that, but you don't want to necessarily do it for them all the time because it makes them feel like you don't trust them. The next one is you use ultimatums to show that you can walk away and then you stay, or after, this is even more common actually, you do walk away and then you want to come back. This makes them feel like you're unstable. I'm just being honest because I want to help you. They view you as someone who's emotionally unstable because you say one thing and you do the next. It makes them feel like you don't think before you act, you don't think before you speak, and you don't know what you're saying. Obviously, none of that is true. Feelings change and emotions can drive us into different directions, but they view it like that because they view emotions as part of the formula, but not the entire formula. And if you have such a prominent part of that formula as your emotions, they might feel like you guys are not compatible as well. And so if you feel like you're very frustrated and you want to walk away, a communication version of that without an ultimatum could be, I'm starting to feel really neglected in this relationship and it makes me feel like I'm not your priority. Something like that. So you still feel like you're not feeling very good in the relationship, but you're not saying, I'm going to walk away unless you actually want to walk away. The next one is you use jealousy to get a reaction out of them, okay? So a lot of you guys, I know you guys know better. A lot of you guys do, but still, I'm going to share it. If you use jealousy as a reaction, jealousy to get a reaction out of them, they will think that you are immature, that you play games, that you're emotionally imbalanced, and they also feel like they can't be themselves without you trying to break the relationship in their mind. That's what they think. Because they think that, what if you actually do go ahead and sleep with this person just to get back at me or get me upset or because you're mad at me? They're going to feel like, okay, you clearly don't like me for who I am because I can't give you what you want right away. And you're using this tactic instead of just telling me or communicating or being patient or whatever it is. And I'm not blaming you, but I'm just saying this is why they kind of view you as a placeholder. And obviously, I imagine you're watching this video because you want to be the person they commit to. So I'm giving you that formula. If you try and make them jealous, it's not going to work. They might stay for a little while, but it might be off and on. It might not be full-blown commitment because they see you as a ticking time bomb and they don't want that in their life. A lot of avoidants are very, they have a very adverse or uncomfortable reaction with things that are, how do I even explain it? That things that could threaten their identity, their independence, or their peace. And so if you're doing this, this makes them feel like if they got married to you, they would have a life full of drama, and they're afraid of that. The next one is any sort of tit-for-tat behavior, okay? So If they didn't text you for X amount of time, let's say they didn't text you for 6 hours. Now you're doing the same thing. You didn't text them for 6 hours either. Maybe you broke your wrist and they didn't check on you. So now you're not checking on them when they're sick or whatever, or you're not checking on them because you're upset about that. Something like that. And these behaviors are incredibly stressful and annoying for avoidants because they're not doing it because they're trying to hurt your feelings. This is how they've been operating way before you. But you doing them makes them feel like you don't appreciate how hard they're working to be there for you, that you don't see them as someone who's trying to make it work by even being with you, and you also don't see how difficult the position you put them in because you're making them guess some of the ways to make you happy without directly saying it. And then I know you're going to say they should know better, he should know better, she should know better. They probably don't. And I know that's hard for you to understand, but they don't get it. And so if you want them to text you quicker, just tell them. As an example, okay? The next one is you make this person your entire identity. You end up not having much friends, not many goals, not many hobbies, and this can create pressure. I think it's kind of obvious why it can create pressure, but let's talk about it. If you guys went on a date, you went on a couple dates and now they're your thumbnail or your icon picture on social media, or maybe now your username is named like me and my best, like my boyfriend, or me and him against the world type of deal, which is okay. But it also kind of puts pressure because they feel uncomfortable with the imbalance that you guys have, right? So they probably care about you and love you in their way. But when you're expressing it so obviously, and a lot of times you guys are not doing it in a nefarious way, it's actually like very sweet, it's normal, it's healthy to some extent. But they will feel like, how come I can't do that for her or him? Is there something wrong with me? I don't want to feel like such a failure, so I don't want to marry someone who makes me feel like a failure, even though you're not. But they have that feeling is associated with you, and so now they feel uncomfortable with that. So what you can do is be a little bit slower to that, or you can reassure them, hey, I just like expressing myself or emotions with my friends or whatever it is. There's no pressure on you. It doesn't mean I think that I like you better or you like me less. This is just the way I express myself, just letting you know. That can help to remove pressure. Also, leaning into hobbies, friends, goals, etc. can really help. The next one is thinking or saying if they cared, they would do X, Y, and Z. Fill in the blanks of that, right? If they cared, they would make me soup when I'm sick. If they cared, they would have got me flowers for Valentine's Day. If they cared, ABC, whatever it is. And that is not true. Sometimes it's true, but not all the time, right? We can talk about Valentine's Day because I'm recording this after Valentine's Day. You guys will probably see it in like March or something, but I'm recording this like after the week after Valentine's Day. And a lot of people that I even know in my friend group is like, how come my husband or my boyfriend didn't give me flowers or something for Valentine's Day, whatever it is. And they've been together for years, so it's not an issue of they don't like you or not. It's kind of the issue of they don't value that, but you do. So just tell them. Tell them, I would like flowers, please order it to my work. Whatever it is. Tell them what they do and then let them show you. I want this on Valentine's Day. I want to do this. I want us to wear this. I want us to go to this place, and I want us to do this after, whatever your version is. Tell them that, and then let them show you that. Don't expect them to know for you because they don't. I'm going to be honest with you. They don't know. Tell them, and then it will help. It will help you to see that they actually like you. But if you have that behavior, they're going to think, okay, I can't read your mind. This is not the person for me. So let's summarize. When you do something, this one is hard for me to even explain. When they don't do something that you want, and then you do it for them, they feel like you don't trust them. So that's one. You use ultimatums in general, or you use it to prove that you can walk away and then you stay, something of that. It makes them feel like you're imbalanced. The next one is you use jealousy to get a reaction out of them. The fourth one is any sort of tit-for-tat behavior. The fifth one is making them basically your like entire world. And then that creates pressure. And the last one is thinking that if they cared, they would be able to do something instead of communicating it. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.